Hello. I thought I'd answer a few questions because I've been getting a few questions come in. Hopefully this is helpful. It's a nice sunny day, so I thought I'd sit outside today rather than be stuck indoors answering these questions in front of the computer. So, first question is, what's been the hardest thing? So, this has been a tricky one that gets asked a lot because I'm proud of what I've achieved, but more importantly, I want to help inspire other people to make changes, get fit, lose weight, whatever it might be. And I do struggle with the answer to this question a little bit because I think the hardest part for me, and if I kind of put it in context, was starting, was having that impetus back in, and probably let's say the first half of, or the first 4 or 5 months of 2023, where I wasn't chasing change. I didn't think I needed that change. I clearly, when I look back at the photos, I did. But when I decided to make the change, to get the personal trainer and to start getting fit, it was overcoming that inertia, that taking that first step that was the hardest thing. Once I started on that, because I had the two personal training sessions every week, which I appreciate not everyone will be in that position to kind of do that or want to do that, but that really kind of drove me and kept me on track. I soon realized I needed to join the gym as well because I needed to keep this going in between the personal trainer sessions. And so it very, very quickly became that routine. I had that accountability, and it was just carrying on. So yeah, the hardest thing was getting started. And so I think any of you that are thinking you need to make a change, the fact that you're asking these questions, the fact you're thinking about it, this is the hardest bit. Keeping going is actually a lot easier once you get started, once you get that momentum going. So it really was getting started. It really was admitting to myself that I needed to make some changes, that I needed to do something different. And that was genuinely the hardest bit. And I think that's the hardest bit for most people. I guess within that, it's knowing what to do. And I had no idea. That's why the personal trainer was the easy route for me. I had no idea how to get fit, how to improve my diet, how to do all these things. So by having that guidance from a personal trainer, I knew I was doing something that was based around what I need, that would help me in my position at my age and everything else. So yeah, getting started was absolutely the hardest thing. So hopefully that helps. So let's go on to question 2. So what's made the most difference? I would have to say diet. As much as the exercise, the gym, the culture, working out with others, having something to aim for with Hyrox, this has all been great, but diet has been the number one thing. Understanding calories in, calories out, understanding what my body needs with protein and supplements and things like that. And something which I'm a little embarrassed. I feel like I should have known about this, got to 48 years old and should know more about this, but I didn't. And so that honestly has made the biggest difference. I've said to people numerous times, I could stop training tomorrow and I could maintain my, not necessarily my health, but certainly my weight, because if I stopped training and wasn't exercising, then I would get less fit and I would invariably get weaker. But in terms of maintaining weight based on calories, I could manage that, and so that's made the single biggest difference, and understanding my body. I guess that's that key part of it, because the rest kind of has dropped into place really once I understood more. So yeah, diet I think would be the answer to that one. Next question, what would I do differently? I probably wouldn't break my ribs, crack my ribs, which I think I did in about month 2 of PT. What would I do differently? I'm not entirely sure, because I've only done this once and only plan to do this once. And, at times I kind of wished there were bigger gains, or I was losing more weight or whatever. But that's only kind of in the moment, kind of looking back, I just took it bit by bit and kind of got there. So I'm not sure. I'd probably try skipping earlier. I'm trying to master skipping at the moment because apparently I'm awful at it, and it skips in my name, so I need to handle that. So no, realistically, I think I would probably embrace the gym culture a little bit kind of more, and not be quite as scared of that when I first started. But no, I think because I took everything at such a tortoise pace and very kind of slowly, I didn't rush out and buy a load of equipment and buy expensive things and all the gear and no idea. I didn't do anything kind of crazy. I just took it slow and steady. So there weren't any big things that I go, oh, I wish I hadn't done that. So yeah, it sounds a bit, I don't know, wrong, but no, I kind of, it's that slow and steady. I didn't rush anything, so therefore I haven't really got any, regrets, and pleased at that progress. So yeah, nothing really. It's a bit of a rubbish answer, isn't it? What's been the hardest thing to give up? This has been a difficult, and I whenever people talk in terms of give up, I find it a bit of a difficult one, because yes, there are things that have to change kind of diet wise, but when you understand those changes and make those changes, it doesn't feel like I've given everything up. Now, I really like bread and cheese. They were things that I used to eat a lot more of, and I eat very little of both of those now. But it doesn't feel like I've given up. As everything changed, and I trained and lost weight and all the rest of it, you kind of get used to things, and I get my pleasure in different places in food. Still love my food, love big meals. They're just healthier now. And so yeah, I guess nothing now. In the moment, it might feel like, oh, and if you speak to someone and say, oh, I no longer eat this or this or this, they're like, oh, I couldn't give those up. And there is kind of an element of that, but I think it's, you just kind of adapt and change, and you realize where those things are. When I do have bread, when I do have cheese, when I do have chocolate, when I do have donuts, cake, all these things, I enjoy them 100 times more, because they are really a treat, and they're something that I look forward to, and I get a lot out of it, and a lot of satisfaction. So do I miss donuts, chocolate, bread, cheese? No, because I still have all those things. I just have them far less and enjoy them more. So yeah, in the moment, I guess it's hard to think you're giving these things up. But again, it's that big picture. It's not really giving them up. I'm just swapping them for other things, and they'll always be there if I fancy them. Yesterday, hard day in the gym, I fancied some chocolate buns. So I had a bag of chocolate buns. Got a big bag of chocolate buns, but that was fine. I ate them through the course of the day, but that was my little kind of treat. It was calories, it was carbs, it was helping me kind of refill my stores, and that was fine, because it was part of overall in the week. I'm still at a big deficit this week, and we'll see what Body Track says tomorrow. So yeah, there's not really anything that was particularly hard that I gave up. I guess it's all just change, really. So what's the next question? Have you had any injuries? I mentioned earlier, and I've mentioned this a couple of times, I kind of think I cracked a rib on the 45-degree leg press machine. It was when I was a lot bigger. It wasn't a particularly heavy weight, but obviously you're down there and the machine comes all the way down, your legs press back towards you. And basically my belly got in the way, which is depressing to admit that. And so I kind of squashed my belly between my legs and my ribs, and it was really painful. And I'm trying to remember back, I'm pretty sure I heard a noise at the same time. And yeah, it was just, really painful for about 6 weeks or so. Didn't stop me training, stopped me doing various kind of things. So I think it was bruised or cracked, but that's really the only kind of injury, because again, I haven't been rushing. I haven't been trying to achieve anything insane in a short space of time. It's just been slow and steady. So therefore, my body's been able to keep up with the change. When I started running more, my hip flexors down the outside of my legs, they started hurting more. But the more, doing kind of lots of building up those running, they're fine now. My body was just going, well, what are these muscles? We haven't used these in a while. So, you know, it's just taking it steady, and yeah, I've kept kind of injury free, and part of that is supplements, eating well, making sure I get the rest, and not kind of overdoing it. Sorry, slightly distracted. The cat's just jumped up behind me on the chair, but just laid down behind me. What are you doing? Yeah? You're going to appear on my shoulder now. Yes, there we go. There's the cat. You want? Thank you. So for any dog people watching, apologies. Nick, what are you doing? Get your face off the camera. Cat stops play. So, next question. What's my secret? You want to know the actual kind of secret? There is no secret. I call it the tortoise way, which some people kind of go, no, I want to be the hare. But it's been this idea that kind of struck me, because it's been a long period of time and lots of little bits, and it's that compound difference that's made by just kind of slow and steady pace. And I think that's my secret. It's also, I didn't have a goal. When I first sat down to start this, I didn't say, right, I want to get to this weight, I want to get this strong, I want to do events, I want to be able to run this. I had nothing. It's just kind of like, I think I probably need to get fit. And I had no idea how to do that. And so it was a process, and the process was laid out in front of me, and so I just did the process. Now, along the way, there's been lots of little wins, little kind of, oh, that's cool, I've achieved that, oh, that's cool, and lots of little kind of milestones. But I didn't have that goal in mind. It was just, I wanted to be someone who could exercise regularly, could, run up and down the stairs without getting out of breath, who felt good. But I didn't really have that specific thing. So because of that, every day was progress. Every day I became the person that went to regularly the gym and trained. And so therefore I was becoming that person, and the results will come if I'm doing that consistently. So yeah, my secret, I guess, is consistency, but it is that tortoise way. It's slow and steady, and just keep going and become the person that exercises every day, rather than become the person that loses this much weight. Yeah, I proudly tell people what I've lost and all the rest of it, but like this year, so in 2024, all I've actually done is put weight on, because my target hasn't been lost weight, but it's been muscle rather than fat. So, that's okay. Not a lot of it, to be honest, but, hopefully we'll get rid of the last bits of fat quite soon. So, yeah, so just consistency, I guess, slow and steady, consistent. I like this question. What scares you about doing 2 Hyrox? Scary doing 1. I guess doing 2, can I do it? Is the first thing. It's all very well training hard as you do right now, but adrenaline will kick in on that kind of Friday. I'll be out of my normal routine, staying with a group of us in a house, getting back, supporting the rest of us that are doing it on the Friday afternoon, then eating Friday night, resting Saturday, bit of light training, and then getting up and doing it all again, and whether I've got any particular aches and pains and stuff like that. So I guess it's making sure I don't let my partner down on the Sunday, because I was doing doubles both day. Worried that I could get injured between now and then, or carry an injury into the second one. So again, it's just looking after myself. But I wouldn't say it scares me. It would just be annoying if I got injured, and annoying if I couldn't perform to the level that I hope for. In my mind, stupidly, no doubt, is in the back of my head, it's like, I wonder if I can do better on the Sunday. Will I be warmed up, or will I be more fatigued? So that's my kind of little challenge. What time am I going to get on the Friday, and what time am I going to get on the Sunday? Am I going to be able to adapt and make any changes between Friday and Sunday to make that better? That's what's going to be fun. The amusing thing is, later this year I'm volunteering again at another Hyrox event, so I will then have 2 tickets for 2 future Hyroxes. So this might be my first and second, but there will be definitely more. There's even a group of us kind of looking at, oh look, there's one in Malaga, that sounds fun. So yeah, I guess letting my partner down, and I guess that my biggest concern, but everything I'm doing is to kind of mitigate that, is to remain fit and be able to bounce back from that Friday, get enough rest, get my nutrition. I'll be taking all my powders and everything up there, and my fueling routine and everything, so that I can be in peak readiness on the Friday, and then again at peak readiness on the Sunday. So yeah, I guess that's it really. How has my training changed? So I think from the early stages, it was very much about just getting moving, getting that kind of flexibility, getting a base level. It was a lot of body weight squats and lunges and push-ups and rowing, and just kind of easing into the movements, getting my body used to the movements. And then it's just been progressively adding more weight, and that, once you've got that flexibility and that strength, you can go on to other exercises and other things. So it's felt like a very natural evolution. I realized after about 4 or 5 months probably, and this was good because it's something that Ben, my PT, is particularly passionate about. I said, I don't want to look like, I'm not doing this to be muscly or something like that. I would much rather have a level of functional fitness, in terms of I can run, I can jump, I can turn quickly, I can lift weights, and I can do everything that I kind of need to do to a good level. And that's, I think, probably where Hyrox kind of suits me from that point of view. It's not technical like CrossFit, where they have to be very good at specific things. It's not just kind of running, because I'm still not quite a runner, but I'm trying not to tell myself that. So yeah, it's having that kind of functional kind of strength and flexibility that will keep me kind of going and kind of maintaining that. So yeah, the exercises went from being more body weight based through to adding more kind of weight and different machines and things based on as I progressed. So I guess that's what's changed. But I still say to people now, if you can basically do a little bit of cardio and do squats and lunges and push-ups, you do those consistently for 3 or 4 weeks, you'll see a difference. It is as easy as that. So, penultimate question here. If I could only do 3 exercises, what would they be? Oh, well, I've just said them. I've answered that question. Squats, lunges, and push-ups. If I could only do 3, because, giving me leg strength, flexibility, single leg strength. There's some core elements to both the squats and the lunges, to keep yourself kind of tight on that. There's core elements obviously in push-ups and the legs, and obviously kind of shoulders and arms as well. So yeah, those would be my 3 exercises. Look at that, 2 answers in one. And that I would do if they were the only 3 exercises. Because equally, just with those 3 exercises, you get really good at those. Hold a weight in each hand. In terms of push-ups, put a weight on your back. You can just with those 3 exercises, you can do so much. Do elevated lunges. So raise your front, so you're stepping off something down, which gives you a deeper lunge. Squats with a weight. So yeah, those 3 exercises you can do so much with. Chuck a kettlebell in there or something like that. There's so much you can do. So those would be my 3. And the last question: what's next after Hyrox? Well, apart from 2 more Hyroxes, I don't know. That's the fun thing. I never got into this to do Hyrox. There will be more Hyroxes. Started looking at kind of other type events, not with swimming. And there's lots of other things out there, Tough Mudders and Decker, and there's Viking events and things like that. So I would like to do more of this kind of training and the group stuff. I think 2025 definitely a single Hyrox. I think that will hopefully be on the cards. But yeah, it's keep going, and I like the challenge of having something to aim for. So there will be more Hyroxes. And there might be more other things along the way. We'll see what comes up and what events we find. Cyclone, hopefully, this local kind of Hyrox type event, that should be happening next year, so definitely be doing another one of those. So yeah, and it's just keeping fit and keeping that kind of those challenges, because it's one of the things that we all kind of remind ourselves of it, and I particularly remind myself of it, is because we're doing these hard workouts every week and we're doing the progression. You never go into the gym kind of going, everything's easy now. Because if you get to that point, you're not kind of pushing yourself. But you have to remind yourself every now and again, it's like, I couldn't do this 6 months ago, 7, 8, 12 months ago. Because you forget how much you've improved, because you don't notice the improvement, but B, because you're not conscious of what you could or couldn't necessarily do before in that moment. So yeah, it's reminding myself that I can do more, I'm fitter, I'm stronger, I'm healthier, and that will continue. And doing events like Hyrox make the training more fun, because you've got something to aim for, and the events make the training fun, and they kind of work together. So I think there will definitely be more events, just to kind of keep it exciting. And yeah, I mean, it would be cool to do something, saying this now, it'd be cool to do something. I'm 49 next year. Cool to do something the following year, 2026. What can I do to celebrate my 50th? How many Hyrox can I do, or something like that? So who knows? There will be more challenges. And again, I hope I can inspire other people to make some of these changes and get out there, because it's been a fantastic journey for me, and the journey's just beginning. So I hope that's answered all the questions. Thank you for kind of sending those in. If there are any more kind of questions, then please do fire away, and I will try and answer as best I possibly can. And yeah, keep you informed with as we go towards 2 Hyroxes now. All good fun.